Can I get a yes, yes?
Yes, yes, in the chat for the boys and the girls.
Can I get an inside? Yes, yes, everyone. We're back. Doesn't actually feel like that long ago we were streaming, even though it was yesterday. But I think it's just because of how heavy yesterday was. For people who missed yesterday, we did a quad. We did a quad, innit? I've not said that for time. Yeah, mad streams yesterday. This one is a bit of a transfer roundup. We've not had a transfer roundup for quite a while, really. I guess it's because it's during. We keep these to like the actual transfer windows. We just do one or two like in between, but then it like get hype a little bit. So yeah, as you've seen the titles, City monitoring Kvaratskhelia, Perrone to City agreed, Gundogan to Barca. Obviously, we'll go into all in detail. But yeah, pretty mad day with a bit of news.
Yeah, it's been popping recently, and we've always said like this is the sort of time at this time of year that like you start to get this sort of like transfer speculation coming out of like, you know, newspapers and all that kind of shit. Because if you think about it, you know what I mean, the transfer window for the summer, so it's only like 5-6 months away, and you need to start doing deals now. You need to start talking to players, and when you start talking to players, that's when leaks start coming out. So you do start to get some stuff, you know, coming out this time of the year. Obviously, the Haaland one was a brilliant one last year because it basically started at this point, and I'm still pretty convinced Jude Bellingham, that news is going to ramp up very, very soon in the next couple of weeks. I believe. I don't think you have to be waiting until March, April. I think maybe at the end of the month, maybe February is when you're going to start hearing that. But we've been getting news about Kvaratskhelia, Perrone, and also Ilkay Gundogan. More news on that. Some news coming out last night, this morning as well on that one. So we're going to discuss all that. But before we do, make sure, as always, you guys drop a like on the stream if you've not done so already. Really helps support the channel grow, gets other fans in the channel. So super appreciate everyone that does that. Let's see if we get to 100 likes, guys. Over 300 people in here. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well if you're new. Big up all our Xtra Club channel members. You can join the Xtra Club. The link is in the description. Sometimes there's a join button below me. And big up to Boohoo Man. Boohoo Man with a Boohoo plan.
I'd love, bro, like one day for us to unmute ourselves by accident. I wouldn't, but do you know what I mean? Like unmute ourselves accidentally in the beginning of one of these streams to hear the way that me and you speak and that. Basically, for people that don't know, when you're all waiting for that 5 minutes, right? At 5 minutes, me and I'll be like, we decide what sponsor we're doing and stuff like that. But the whole time, we're both just like singing. Just then we're just going Boohoo Man with the Boohoo plan. Boohoo Man was for ages. Like it's just honestly, people just be like, these guys are weird. The cancels.
It's the green room, isn't it? That's
the green room. It is our green room.
We're getting into the vibe, you know what I mean? So we're not coming cold. You know what I'm saying? Like, as soon as we got in there, Jordan was like going ham. You know what I mean? If we didn't have the green room, people are like, why you always make us wait 5 minutes? It's so then when we land, and
it hits.
We hit it hard, you know what I mean? So anyway, yeah, big up to the guys at Boohoo Man. They sponsored today's stream. The discount is returned. You can get an extra 10% off your order using City Extra at checkout. Make sure you're using our link in the description there. International shipping and all that. So big up to them. I'm wearing today their active wear, so thank you very much because I am active.
I'm always wearing jumpers, always, especially how cold it is, isn't it? Like, to be fair, I do wear t-shirts and that, and I do like the t-shirts, but I usually just put like a body warmer over the top because it is cold. It's freezing nowadays, isn't it? Like it can't be.
It's pretty scorching today though. It's 4 degrees, Brie.
Whoa! Yeah. We're a snow about to melt.
I know. Big up to Simon with a super chat already. He said going to Manny tomorrow and watching Wolves match. Yes. Big up you.
You're going to Manny tomorrow to watch the Wolves match.
I guess it's just
tomorrow's Friday.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's staying over for
yeah, till Sunday. Yeah, I'm gonna say like that's a bit dead. Yeah. You got the wrong day, Si.
Yeah, so pretty mad. But yeah, let's get into it. Let's not mess about. Let's get into the transfer roundup. Let's start with the first one, who's in the title, Kvaratskhelia. We ain't really spoke too much about him in terms of a transfer rumours. We spoke about him quite a bit in terms of like how much we all like him and, you know, how much we'd love to see him at Manchester City, but we've not really seen too much news of any sort of real sort of links, which is kind of it's strange on one hand because Kvaratskhelia is a player that, in my opinion, would just fit straight into the Manchester City team the way he plays. I think he's a perfect Pep Guardiola player, but you all know the problem. And the problem is that he plays for Napoli.
Yeah, it's so annoying, right? Because he's so good, and I'd love to be able to jump on the back of this and be like, yes, it's Kvaratskhelia season, and let's just full send Kvaratskhelia. We don't have to talk about no more wingers other than this guy, right? I've been watching videos of this guy all morning. Literally all morning, I've just been watching like compilations and that. As soon as one of the first things I said to LB when we got on this like call thing together was Kvaratskhelia is just so sick. Because
what did you like about him, bro? What was his sort of like things that you were like, that's sick?
Absolutely. Everything that he does, bro, guy can finish. The way that he turns, receives the ball, takes on a man. Bro, on that compilation, there's been about like 16 times I'm watching it put it through a guy's legs, and he's controlling the ball. He's sick. He does this thing, man, where like you think he's gonna lose the ball, but he sticks his leg out like heavy and keeps the ball with him. It's mad. He's sick though. He's absolutely sick. The way he turns it's mint. He's actually mint on the ball. So I think it'd be so sick in this City side. But like you say, the problem isn't with the player. That's not a problem. It's with the team. It's Napoli. We don't deal with Napoli. And people are like, yeah, but you know what I mean? We can get over it. Well, we thought that after Jorginho.
Yeah.
And then the Koulibaly thing, the City didn't even want to talk to De Laurentiis. They sent a middleman to deal with it, to think, oh, well, this will be the fix. We'll send a middleman, and that'll be fine. That didn't work. So what do we do this time? Send a middleman. A middleman for the middleman. Like, for me, the way that City fix this with Napoli is by Varane and Siki just speaking to De Laurentiis themselves and just water under the bridge. Business is business. Let's allow it. We didn't pay you for Koulibaly, and we fucked you about with it, and you fucked us over with Jorginho. So let's allow it. Do you know what I mean? Water under the bridge. Move on from this. Let's do a deal for Kvaratskhelia. That's basically, yeah. Send him a hamper with like loads of different things in it, or just get the Sheikh to, do you know what I mean? Give him a backhander of loads of cash. I
just think obviously City are always looking to do deals and get good deals, get good prices on players. Which obviously, yeah, you know what I mean. You got to negotiate, but you know sometimes you gotta understand who you're dealing with, and you can't always negotiate. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. When you go into Asda, yeah, you don't negotiate at the checkout. You've got to pay the price. You know what I mean? But when you sometimes go down the local market, yeah, and the guy's like, oh yeah, 3 for a £5, and you go £4.50, and the guy's like, yeah, chilling. Because like the different scenarios allow for negotiation, some don't, and some clubs allow for negotiation, some don't. Brighton didn't allow for negotiation. Napoli didn't allow for negotiation, but then other clubs. Velez with the Perrone deal, they're like, yeah, man, we'll negotiate. You know what I mean? We'll do deals. So it all depends on what you're doing. And Napoli, you know, if you're gonna go in and try and deal with Napoli, you can't go in with like this mad arrogance or some mad ego. You got to accept that, okay, you're gonna pay a lot of cash here. And if you think it's too much money, just walk away. Yeah. But you've got to go in there thinking, I'm going to be paying probably a lot more than I actually want to pay here. But that's what you do when you want a premium product at a place that you can't negotiate. So it'll be interesting to see if City do go in for him. Well, I mean, there is a couple of problems. Obviously, you are dealing with Napoli. He's contracted until 2027, which really does not help the situation. I've not seen anything about any release clause.
No signs of release clause out there.
No rumours of a release clause, which is obviously difficult to get him out there. So you're going to have to pay top cash. And to be honest with you, I know he's only been there since a year, but I just think that they're probably, in my opinion, if they sell him for anything less than like 80 million, I think they're idiots. Because when you look at Mudryk, bro, that's 70 million.
That's 70 million with 20 million in add-ons.
So I think if Napoli are going to be asking probably 100 million. And this is the way the market's gone. The market is absolutely fucked, guys.
Yeah, it's in the bin. The market is in the bin. I think he's going to be an £100 million player. I don't see anything like less. I think Napoli. I think £80 million is if you're dealing with a decent board. Do you know what I mean? But because it's him, he'd be like, yeah, I want cash for this. Like, but then you've got to look at if City actually, obviously we as fans we all rate this guy and we want this guy on the side and he looks sick, yeah. But if City don't value him at that price, City don't get into bidding wars or anything like this, innit? Like they're not asked about that. So if someone else was to come in, they're not going to get involved. And basically, City operate on this no negotiation, like really like with big values. What they value a player is basically City like to take the lead on it and say this is what we value him at. And they don't really want to vary from it too much. Hence why the Cucurella thing, it was £30 million, I think, our original offer. And then we only went to £35 million. I think that was the max we went to, was 35.
Bro, I think that worked for a long period of time.
I think that was...
Then what happened is, when we was going for like these £50 million players, which we did with like Mahrez, Kevin, Bernardo, all these types, I think it worked. But then what's happened in the last like year or two is the market has exploded. So then you've got a lot more. Well, he cost that much, so we're thinking he's worth that.
Yeah.
You didn't really have that too much, 5 years ago. And that's when we was really successful getting these great deals in, when we signing players for 30 to 60 million quid. And they're absolutely like brilliant deals. But now, I don't think you can really do that anymore. A lot of these players, look at Mudryk. I mean, any player, there's a lot of players better than Mudryk out there. So any club who's got the player under contract for longer than a year, 2 years, are going to be like, well, Mudryk's 70 mil, so we want 80.
Yeah, we want, but you basically, because they look at that and go, right, instantly, there's a cap there, because they basically put a bar and say, right, well, Mudryk costs this, we believe our player's better than this, and he's on a longer contract, so he's going to instantly cost a lot more than that. That's just what happens.
You can't turn around to him and say, yeah, but Chelsea are mugs overpaying, because that doesn't work.
Because they're not asked.
We don't care. They paid it, so you pay up.
Yeah, because they'll just go, right, then we'll sell to Chelsea then. Like, do you know what I mean? And you know that Chelsea are in for everyone. The thing is, right, I can understand, like, I like the side of City when we turn to this negotiation side of it, because when we first started, it was like, oh, everyone was trying to rinse us. We paid cash for a lot of players, and we had to do it. We had to spend money when we first got the cash. But then it became a thing of, oh, City have got money. We're going to inflate the price every single time when it was a deal with City. As soon as City evolved, add loads of money onto it. So City decided, right, we can't have this anymore. We're going to start valuing players, and we're not going to start overpaying what we think they're worth. So then, when we started getting good deals out of it. So it kind of like the reputation of City in the transfer market became better, because clubs instantly knew that we weren't going to get rinsed for like loads of players. Obviously, people are like, oh, Jack Grealish, that was a release clause and that. But now, because things have changed, things have switched, it's more difficult to do that. It's more difficult to try and like basically get really good deals out of every single player. It's just not, it's not feasible, especially when because City might have, like Brighton with Cucurella. Brighton was like, yeah, £60 million player. Like Brighton probably didn't value him at £60 million player, but they're in control. And it's the same with Kvara. Napoli are in control of the situation. They can put whatever price they want on him, especially because his contract's till 2027, and just say to City, you have to pay it. And that's probably what will happen, because that's what happened with Koulibaly. They wanted something like 90 million for Koulibaly, and City were like, we're not paying that. And then City offered, was it like 55 mil or something?
Probably in that region.
It was around that. And then Napoli were like, we're not budging. And City were like, we're not budging. And then that's why everything just broke down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a very... The whole market at the moment is just in disarray. Pep Guardiola, yeah, bro, you need to message DM City Extra Pod on Twitter, bro. I've got it up, so when you message us, I'll read it out. Harsh says, guys, please explain how we can sign Perrone next month. If Pep wants Kvaratskhelia, I am seeing City will get him this time. I just feel that. Well, apparently he's signing a contract after the America Sub-20 tournament, so that's what we're being told.
Yeah, the Perrone thing, what'll happen is he'll get registered technically in this month. Like in January, you can register players to play for the side, so he'll kind of be a City player. But it won't come into effect until after that tournament. That's if he's going into the side for this season.
Yeah, because there's been a bit like contradictory rumours on this. There's been some people saying that he's going to go back. He won't come till the summer, like we did with like Jesus and that, and with Alvarez. And then there's some people who are saying, nah, he's like literally joining City straight after.
Yeah, because that's what I thought. He was joining City straight away after the tournament.
Oh man, I mean, to be honest, if I have to say, I'd say probably in the summer. But it's a bit. We need a little bit more information on that one. But he is signing a City contract after this under-20s tournament, so we'll have to see on that one. I've got some like news timeline on Kvaratskhelia. It's only a very short one, but I do have this. On October 19th, 2022, CM.com said Man City are following Napoli's Khvicha Kvaratskhelia with great attention. That was back in October. That's from Calcio Mercato, a really big news site in Italy, which is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And then a week later, Napoli director Cristiano Guintoli said this about Kvaratskhelia and Manchester City. He said, "There's absolutely nothing. I can tell you that Kvaratskhelia is 100% untouchable. He's not on the market." So that doesn't sound good.
That doesn't sound good at all. Well, the thing is, Napoli are in that position.
Yeah.
And they're flying at the moment, Napoli. They're doing bits.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it all depends on whether he wants out and whether someone's going to pay what Napoli want. Now, will City do that? Don't know.
Yeah, and then the reason why we've got him in the title and in the thumbnail is because yesterday, Mail Sport said Man City are monitoring Napoli winger Khvicha Kvaratskhelia. So this was yesterday. City are monitoring the player.
So yeah, I just think that City obviously it's hard. He's one of the most the highest prospects in world football. I'd be stunned if City weren't looking at this. Do you know what I mean? With how good he looks.
Yeah, that's fair.
So they have to be looking at this deal, and then they're probably obviously speaking about it and trying to. Because City, when they're monitoring the situation, they'll be having conversations in the background, trying to figure out logistically how they're going to pay for it. Because that's what they have to do. Do you know what I mean? They have to look at it and go, right, okay, how would we sign this guy if we wanted to get him? So then that which is always a good sign. It means that City are looking at it, seeing what the situation is. They might be saying all right, it's going to cost loads of money. We might not be able to get him in the summer because we're going for Jude Bellingham. Do you know what I mean? They might be saying, right, there's not enough cash in the bank, even though we have a war chest apparently. But it's just it's the strangest deal because it's one that I want to manifest to happen so much, but you just don't know how far City will take it. I guess it's a positive side though it's a positive sign that we're monitoring him, and City know he plays for Napoli. Mm-hmm. So City clearly they must be speaking about how they're going to deal with De Laurentiis if they want to push ahead with this.
Yeah. No, it's an interesting one, and obviously it's a player that everyone sort of wants. So we'll have to see the latest developments on this one. But City are monitoring Kvaratskhelia. He's contracted until 2027. We'll have to wait and see what happens with this one. And we'll probably need a lot more news. But if we do end up getting him, it's going to be, I think it'll eclipse Grealish. I think it'll be the most expensive player in the Premier League because they're just not going to sell for that. I just don't see
unless we get Jude.
Less than 100.
Unless we get Jude, I don't think we'll pay more than Jude for Kvaratskhelia. I think Jude will cost us 125 million.
And let's be honest, if we get Jude Bellingham, we're not going to get Kvaratskhelia in the same transfer window.
Then again, that's something that Chelsea would do. And if we have saved all his cash, and City could be logistically say yo, look, we have this money from last season and this season to get both these Donnies, but I don't see it happening. I don't see that happening. The two signings going to pass the £100 million mark in one transfer window, bro. That's insane. Yeah,
I know. Not going to happen. Right, let's turn our attention then to Perrone properly. We did just discuss him a little bit there. This is hilarious, this deal. Absolutely. The Sun, mate. The Sun the other day ran with a headline or something like
Man City failed. Off. Yeah, deal for Perrone's off. Because everyone in the chat started losing the shit, and we were like, "What you on about?" We literally did a stream, and 20 minutes later, the Sun came out with a headline saying that the deal's off, and we was like, "What?" Because what we just read contradicted that so much.
I know. It's crazy, isn't it? If you actually read their article as well, it just didn't even say that. It just literally didn't even say that at all.
Clickbait.
Clickbaiters. But okay, let's go through a little bit of a timeline on this one. Let's see how this transfer has developed. So, George Baravel at ESPN, he looked like he was the first person to sort of get on this back in February 12th last year. So this might be someone who you want to add to your trusted sources. George Baravel at ESPN. He said Man City are interested in Velez Sarsfield midfielder Maximo Perrone, having sent a team of scouts to monitor the teenager. The player is protected by a release clause worth around 10 million euros US, which was right because it's 8 million euros, so that's probably about the right amount. That was a year ago. So if you guys like want a good source and like you want to know trusted sources,
That's pretty mad. Might add
maybe add into your list, man. And then we heard nothing basically all year, and then just before New Year's Eve, we got a Diario Ole, which is a big account with 3.6 million followers. Said Man City are scouting Vélez Sarsfield Maximo Perrone. So that was on the December 29th. December 31st, we got the Here We Go from Fabrizio Romano, Maximo Perrone to Man City. Here we go. That was on New Year's Eve. The same day, Maximo Perrone will not join City Football Group clubs. Instead, this is what I'm saying. Instead, he will head to Man City right after the Sudamericano Sub-20. So Fabrizio's suggesting that he's going to be with the squad this season.
Yeah, so you'd think that he gets registered in this window as a City player.
Exactly.
Well, unless he doesn't have to because he's. Does he have to? What's the like the registration terms of how old? How old is Perrone? Like 20? Or is he younger than
19,
that?
Yeah.
19. Is there a thing with that where he doesn't have to register in this window and he can still come into the side, or does he not qualify for that? I don't know in it. Like it's all fucky in it.
He is 20 now. He turned 20 last week. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the rules in it.
Yeah, I don't know the real. Oh, yeah, Benno says he has to be registered. So yeah, okay, so he still has to be registered in this window. Then again, bad programming says the under 21s don't need to be registered.
Well, that's probably why then. That's probably why if he's under 21, if that's the rule. So we'll see what it is anyway. But yeah, Fabrizio said he's going to join after the Sudamericana, which ends in early weeks in February. El Diario said on January the 6th that Pep Guardiola contacted Javier Mascherano to discuss incoming midfielder Maximo Perrone. Mascherano provided the best impressions, detailing the youngster's good passing, aerial play, and ball control, which obviously City were very happy with. Then Dharmesh Sheth from Sky Sports UK said, this was on January the 9th, Man City are close to signing Maximo Perrone from Vélez Sarsfield. The 20-year-old is not expected to challenge for the first team straight away, but is more one for the future. So that's a little bit contradictory to what Fabrizio was saying. So we've got one person saying he's joining City after February and he's not going to CFG, he's going to be at City. And then another guy said he's not getting in the first team. January the 15th, CL Merlo, this is a reporter based out of Argentina, said Vélez Sarsfield negotiated with Man City to try and get them to pay more than the 8 million euros release clause. In case of not reaching an understanding, Man City are willing to pay the release clause in a single payment to sign the midfielder. 3 days later, Maximo Perrone is now one step away from signing for Man City. Vélez Sarsfield are finalising the details of the transfer that will be completed for the above player's 8 million release clause. And then, a couple of days ago, we had the director of Vélez Sarsfield coming out basically saying he's not too happy with the City deal. He's not happy with Javier Mascherano speaking to City, blah, blah, blah. Basically saying he's not happy and the current deal is not acceptable, right? So then what happened was then a couple of newspapers, including The Sun, ran with the headline, Man City bid failed, and everyone started thinking
that it's done, yeah.
And that wasn't the case. If you actually read the quotes, and it was a very, very misleading title in my opinion, but if you actually read the quotes, the guy wasn't saying the deal was off. He was just saying he wasn't happy with the deal was on the table. But we already knew that Man City were happy to pay the 8 million euros. Why? Because it's 8 million fucking euros. They're not going to say, nah, sin a bit. If they want it, they're going to pay the 8 million.
It did come out saying that City are willing to pay the £8 million up front should things not go the other way.
Exactly. So it was more just a case of he probably wanted the deal to be a different structure. And obviously, it seems that City have now agreed to that. And then yesterday, we got the breaking news. Maximo Perrone will join Manchester City in a 9.3 million euro deal. So that's 1.3 million euros more than his release clause. But obviously, we'll be spreading that across a period of time. The Argentina under-20 international will travel to England to complete his medical and sign his Manchester City contract following the conclusion of the Sudamericano Sub-20 next month. So yeah, the deal's done. The deal is done.
Yeah,
Maximo Perrone is going to be a Manchester City player, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited.
I'm looking forward to it. He's a very high, obviously, prospect. He's on that list, isn't he? Up there with like Pedri and stuff like that as ones to watch, basically. So it'd be interesting to see what he can do at City. It'd be interesting to see if he comes straight into the side as well. Like if that is a thing, then that's one of the things that I think we're going to have to look at. Maybe at the end of the transfer window when City submit the Premier League squad again, we'll have to look we'll have to look at the rules if they do have to submit him or not. But if they don't, then that it's pretty chill. Then it makes sense that he can just come in February after their thing and just turn up and then start playing for us. Nitin in the chat, bro, has got a strong view on this. He says it's an absolute embarrassment for a club that's posted the highest revenue this year to run after some 10 million rando kids, right? But I've got an alternative to that. Mm-hmm. Kvaratskhelia last summer cost £10 million.
Yeah.
And look at him now. So you say, it's an embarrassment that the club's looking at these 10 million rando kids. We're not just looking at players that are valued at £10 million and going, he's going to be a £10 million player for his life. We're going after players that are £10 million like this as youngsters, thinking that these will excel and potentially be worldies. We're not just doing it for no reason. Like
Enzo Fernandez.
Look at Enzo Fernandez when he went. Look at Julian Alvarez.
Mm-hmm.
Douglas
Luiz.
Douglas Luiz. This thing of it's an embarrassment that the club is going after these players. It doesn't exist. That is not a thing. That it just doesn't make sense. Like that's it's just not. Doesn't exist. Basically, City are going after the players before they make a move somewhere else. If City could have gone in before Kvaratskhelia got to Napoli and they paid that £10 million, then people would probably be saying the same thing. It's an embarrassment that we're going after a £10 million player. But look at him now. Mm. So that's why you've just got to take a risk.
And it is a gamble. Maximo Perrone could turn out to be absolute dog shit.
Yeah, it could be shit.
But that's the market you're dealing with.
It's the game, isn't it?
These South American players, and you're getting them on the cheap deal. That's the reason that Enzo Fernandez cost 10 million. That's the reason that Julian Alvarez was 20 odd mil. That's why Perrone is 20 mil. That's why, because the gambles. That's why Keiki was about 8, 9 mil, whatever. Because you really don't know what you're getting until they come in. It's a completely different culture. It's a completely different language. It's a completely different style of football.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And these are young lads. So sometimes they will come in and they'll just not be at it. But you only have to find one out of 5 or 6 transfers. You spend 60 million quid, right, on 5 or 6 of these South Americans, and one of them comes off. You're in the money. Because that player would then automatically... How much is Julian Alvarez worth now? 70, 80 million?
Yeah.
I ain't selling him for anything less than 70 million. So look, it only takes one of these players to come good. And then you don't have to worry about your Benjamin Gares. You don't have to worry about your Kaikis and all these other players that have come from South America and haven't done it. Because it only takes one to come good. Yeah. And you're in the profit.
That's why the CFG works.
And Nitin, I'd also say that Perrone's coming in. He's not going to be starting. He's not going to be coming in and replacing Bernardo and straight into the starting 11. We're still going to be going for a pro, like a top pro, in my opinion. It's just coming into a boost of the squad. And clearly, I'm not being funny, bro, but if Pep Guardiola's rang this player 3 times, I'm pretty sure that he's half decent. You know what I mean? He's rang him 3 times to get him to sign to Manchester City.
So it's not just some rando £10 million player. It's someone that Pep's looking at and Pep wants him to be a. It's not a thing, innit? This whole thing. I don't agree. But everyone has their own opinions. That's just the way it is. Emmanuel Perez with a 5 says, do you guys think City's going into a few bad years while we refresh the squad? If we do you think we can hold on to Haaland? I don't think we're going through a few bad years into a dip. I think Pep will fix the issues that we're in with right now. And I ain't gonna lie, right? And I know it's tonight, when this stream ain't about that. But the press conference from Pep yesterday, I think was absolutely on point. It was mint. He addressed exactly what all us fans have been wanting from this team and wondering why it's going wrong. And Pep's addressed it and said, "Yeah, it's me, and I understand." And he's pointing out the areas that we've been speaking about: chance creation, the build-up play, how fast we're moving the ball. And he's coming out and saying, basically, he loves being stressed and trying to figure out how to fix these things, and he believes that he can fix this thing. So I back Pep to fix it, and I don't think we'll be going through a bad few years.
And you got to understand, guys, whatever is going wrong now, it's not a massive issue. It can easily be rectified in the summer. So anything that does need to be rectified will be rectified.
Yeah, completely agree.
Pep Guardiola, bro, I don't know what you're talking about. I can't find your DM, bro.
I can't find your DM either, mate. You're not in the message requests. Oh my God, we've got loads of people in the message requests. Sorry, for people who've messaged us and they go into our message requests, I'll have a look at them in a bit. I forget about the message requests all the time, mate. I have message requests on my own personal, bro, and I don't even see them. I always forget. But yeah,
it's not there, bro.
It's not there, mate.
But yeah, that's Perrone anyway, so that's a done deal. Will we see him this season? I don't know. There's kind of yes, but kind of no. Who knows? Well, I guess we'll get more information. Yeah. When you'll get more information when UK journalists start reporting on it. Because so far, we've not had any. Apart from Dan Chef, who I don't know if he actually knows anything. I mean,
maybe they just won't cover it at all. And then maybe it'll be when City announce it. That's when you'll start seeing more stuff about him, kind of thing. So kind of like what to expect when Perrone comes to City, kind of thing. But I'm looking forward to it, mate. I'm really looking forward to it. Just before we go into Ilkay Gundogan, bro, a lot of people in the chat have been speaking beforehand and now about Leao and AC Milan. Last night we watched the Milan derby, thinking, you know what, this is a good time to watch Leao. I got excited twice by Leao. And one was all he did was a run, and it was a sick run, but it was just a run. And the second one was he had a shot on target, and that was about it. Other than that, I think he had a poor game. But AC Milan did have a shit game, so I don't want to judge him off just one match, but from the one match that I've seen fully, it wasn't very good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I agree with that. Right, let's move on to Gundogan and to the centre midfield. Just a reminder, guys, massive shout out to the guys at Boohoo Man. If you guys need any clothes, accessories, shoes, anything like that, then head over to Boohoo Man. Use our link in the description, and if you use code CityExtra, you'll save extra cash there as well. International shipping on all items, so go and check it out. Big up to them for sponsoring the stream. Super appreciate all the support. And yeah, if you guys wanting any clothes, make sure you are using our link and our discount code for that extra saving. Right, Ilkay Gundogan, more news coming about him. So yeah, Ilkay Gundogan, as we all know, is out of contract in the summer. Doesn't appear to be any signs of him re-signing a contract. And we're now getting more news that Ilkay Gundogan is being linked with another source to Barcelona. Mike McGrath came out 2 days ago and said Barcelona have serious interest in signing Man City's Ilkay Gundogan on a free transfer at the end of the season. It makes perfect sense. It'll fit the style of play. They need a little bit more experience in that midfield, and he's a free transfer, which is critical for a team like Barcelona. But then we got even more news. We got a bombazzo, an exclusiva on El Chiringuito TV, Bray. Jose Alvarez. He was the guy, and he said Barcelona are seriously interested in Ilkay Gundogan at the end of the season on a free transfer. So that's another source, this one from Spain, saying that he's off. However, Gerard Romero said nothing big is happening around Ilkay Gundogan and Barcelona at the moment.
So contradicting, isn't it?
It is so contradicting.
But I kind of believe the. I don't want to say anything about Gerard Romero. I'm not quite sure how reliable Gerard Romero is.
Wasn't Gerard Romero the guy who was like, things are happening with the Bernardo Silva?
Yeah. I think he was the don and nothing happened. So he got the shout says he got Bernardo thing wrong. Yeah, I'm not sure on Gerard Romero's. Do you know what I mean? His sauce. You know what I mean? I don't think man's cooking with a HP. So I'm leaning towards the other ones, like obviously El Chiringuito, them lot. This Jose Alvarez thing, it seems to be popping off, and I kind of believe it as well. I believe it. It makes complete sense. It does for Gundogan to go to Barcelona. It's a deal that you can just see and go, oh yeah, that's you can understand why that deal would go through. Now, it's a situation where we're going into summer and we could be losing both Bernardo and Gundogan, which means that we should be signing quite a few players, which is decent. Obviously, we do have Maximo Perrone, and if he comes in, he could potentially take one of them spots. City might be looking at him to take one of them spots straight away, like if they rate him that much. However, you'd like to think that we do. We are going to bolster in the midfield. Obviously, we all know that we're going to be in for Jude Bellingham and stuff. So the Gundogan thing, I just think he can sign the contract now. He could sign the contract. I think he'd be better off signing it sooner rather than later. To kind of just put it, so then he's not like distracted by any contract news or anything like this, anything floating around. Because if he doesn't, this will just continue this all the way up until the end of the season. Sorry, because he can sign the contract whenever. He doesn't have to be in the transfer window to sign a pre-contract. So if he makes a decision sooner rather than later, I think that's good for the City fans because we know it's the last time we're going to see Ilkay Gundogan for the next 6 months. And it's good for him because he can just focus on solely City, and then we know he's getting off.
Do you ever actually see players sign pre-contracts, or I feel like they just don't sign it for maybe respect out of the fans that there are? It's just easier maybe for the player just to say, yeah, I'll come, but I'm not signing the contract till the end of the year. You know what I mean? Yeah. When was the last time you seen someone sign a pre-contract agreement?
Aguero signed a pre-contract, didn't he, with Barcelona?
A pre-contract?
Yeah, because he was out of contract in it, and then it came out City weren't renewing, so he agreed with Barcelona. Then we knew after he went from the Champions League that he was going straight to Nkunku.
No, I'm not talking about Haaland. No, I'm talking about a free transfer.
A free transfer, not a release clause kind of thing.
Talking about proper one.
Yeah, David Silva. I think David Silva went to Real Sociedad.
Did they?
Yeah, Aguero signed later. Did Aguero sign after the season?
Did David Silva sign a pre-contract?
Did he? I know he went to Real Sociedad, but I can't remember after the season finished. No, in fact, I think that was after the season finished.
Yeah, no, he didn't. He didn't sign a pre-contract.
Nkunku, definitely. That is definitely a pre-contract. But then, no, it's not, because that's a release clause. It's a release clause.
We're talking about a Bosman, guys. We're talking about a Bosman. We're talking about a free transfer where the player's out of contract at the end of the year and they're allowed to sign a pre-contract with another club in January, so long as it's in a different country.
David Alaba have done it.
Yeah. But the point it stands is it's very rare. So I don't think you'll see him sign the contract. I think that probably he'll just wait until the end of the year.
Yeah, David Alaba and Rudiger. Yeah, Rudiger's definitely one. Because remember, Chelsea were in a mess, weren't they? And they couldn't sign him to a new deal because they had no money.
Honestly, I think he's off me. I think Gundogan's off. I think they're both off.
I think Gundogan and Bernardo are going to go. I'd like to say I'm like gutted about it. I don't feel gutted about it though. I feel like it's the right time for Gundogan to leave. He's done absolute bits for us. I do feel like it's the right time for him to leave. Bernardo Silva wants to go, so I'm happy for Bernardo Silva to go. And I feel like it'll freshen up a midfield, which is at this moment in time looking like it needs freshening up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I agree. Pep Guardiola's talking about this guy. You want to try and pronounce his name? Tsiankov, something like that. He plays now for Girona. Girona signed him for like 5 mil. And he's got pretty decent numbers, man. I've never seen him play. You know what I'm saying? I've never seen him play.
Who's this done it?
Viktor Tsiankov.
When did
Ukrainian. He used to play for Dynamo Kiev. And then Girona have signed him.
This is what Pep Guardiola's on about, isn't it? Yeah, Pep Guardiola 179. DM was look at Tsiankov.
Yeah, I don't know.
Girona sound for us, yeah.
But, his numbers, man. His numbers are actually sick at Dynamo Kiev. He got 9 goals and 6 assists in 23 games.
Okay.
For a winger.
Decent.
Pretty sick, that, isn't it?
Yeah. How old is it?
25. So
it might not. These just like there are players like these unknown players in it that you just don't really know about that could.
Yeah. He had a market value of 22 million, and somehow Girona have got him for 5. I don't know. Maybe he was out of contract in the summer or something. I don't know. But yes. Anyway, that's a player that Girona have signed. Maybe keep your eye on him. He's got some decent numbers. LKB, yes, with a 5, says, opinion on Trossard to Arsenal. Fabrizio just said it will be done very, very soon, a few minutes ago. Likely to be available for the Man United game.
Serious? For the
United
game?
It's an interesting one.
That's a rapid I mean, to be fair, Oh yeah, he's right. I'm on Fabrizio now, right? This is the Fabrizio's thing. He says Trossard has accepted all conditions offered by Arsenal on his contract. All of the teams have been informed of his decision to join Arsenal. Personal terms 100% agreed. The clubs are expected to complete the agreement very, very soon, as revealed today. So, yeah,
I mean, they're sending it. Fair play to Arsenal.
I mean, yeah, because obviously we knew the Mudryk thing that fell in the bin. They're going for Trossard, who's obviously 28, so that's one of the things that we were looking at and saying like, oh yeah, he's a bit old now. Obviously not. It's still, he's getting into his peak anyway, which is good for Arsenal anyway. And there was a worry that they're going to go for Diaby, weren't there? Because we were like, oh, that's a winger off our list. But you know what I mean, it's they are sending it. They are, at the end of the day, they've got a. Well, they want to continue with this title push, and they're strengthening. Mm-hmm. I respect it.
Yeah. No, I agree. Mihail says, it's time you guys feature in City's Match Day Live, says Mihail. Thanks.
Can you imagine LB on Match Day Live just slamming the table? It's not good enough. Like, yeah. And like Sean Goat sat across from you, bro. Like, what's going on? It'd be so funny, bro. I'd pay good money, bro, to see that. I'd pay insane money.
JV with a super chat says, gents, thoughts on Zaniolo? Nicolo Zaniolo is a forward who plays for Roma. Tottenham won him. Available for 40 million, apparently. I ain't seen too much of him, bro. I ain't seen too much of him. Is he sick Donny or what?
Yeah, I've never heard of this guy before.
No, Tottenham won him, apparently, according to the news.
He has 1 goal in 16 games. Apparently.
Don't know. Never seen him play, Jay, to be honest with you, lad.
Yeah.
I'll keep him on my list, though.
Among Us says John Jones versus Cyril Gamer would be crazy. Is that a thing? I thought John Jones got dropped by the UFC again, unless it's going with someone else. Sorry, I know this is like a complete thingy, but I just wanted to ask about that. I'm going to Google it now. Yeah, so different bit of transfer news getting about, which is good.
Yeah,
which is good.
It'll start picking up now, man. I need that transfer speculation in my life. You know what I mean? Because obviously the Premier League ain't going too great right now in terms of consistency and that. And yeah, I'm just like, let's get some transfer speculation, man. You know what City need to do? You know what I mean? Some people are feeling a bit down after the Derby Day loss, after Southampton knocking us out of the cup. City need to drop a big bombazo. They need to leak some news. You
know what? The thing is, Joe, last year at this time, if City were to like have a wobble, City could just throw in a bit of Haaland propaganda and everyone gets gassed again because everyone was buzzing about Haaland and that, and no one knew where he was going. So City can just leak a bit of, oh yeah, Haaland to City, and all the fans are like, yes, Haaland to City. But this time, there's no peri on it, bro. It's just it's dull, isn't it? It's a dull month.
It's plain at the moment. It's
plain.
It's that plain meal.
Plain meal, isn't
right.
it?
We need that. We need that peri. We need something to spice our life up, guys. You know what I mean? Because right now we ain't really getting too much. Obviously, we've got Perrone, buzzing about that. You know what I mean? I'm excited to see what he's got to offer. But at the end of the day, we're going to be losing Gundogan. We're going to be losing Bernardo. We need a left back. We need a winger. Like, come on, man. The rumours have got to start soon. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to field a starting 11 next season, man.
Yeah, you just lose your players left, right, and centre. 2 wingers gone this summer. And then 2 midfielders this summer. Do you know what I mean? Like, what's going on?
Well, there you go. That's your transfer roundup. Man City monitoring Kvaratskhelia. Perrone to City is a done deal. And Gundogan still hasn't signed a new contract. And it's Barcelona who are looking most likely to sign him on a free transfer at the end of the season. So that's where we're up to.
That is basically it. The Gundogan news, I imagine, will be popping off more so in the next couple of days. I think probably in the Wolves press conference, Pep will probably get some questions about this, whether or not it'll be embargoed or not, because it is quite big news. I imagine that there will be people asking about trying to get the information, the inside source on this Gundogan thing, because as we know, sometimes it just comes out. When Fernandinho was leaving, he just went out there and said it. Pep didn't even know, did he? Pep was like, "What? Up for that, because it was a Champions League game, wasn't it? He said it beforehand, because obviously they did the player interview first.
Oh, by the way, guys, remember Saturday night, 7 p.m. We're doing a Perrone watch along.
Yeah.
Argentina under 20s playing Paraguay under 20s. We're going to be doing a watch along for it, man. 7 p.m. on Saturday night. So if you want to see a bit more of Perrone, not just clips on YouTube, join us for that, man. It'll be a decent watch.
Dash says, JP, out of Barca and City. How about Barca and City do a Frankie de Jong and Gundogan swap deal? But we know that Barca also wants cash, so give them 50-70 million. Nah, because it doesn't make sense, because they can sign Gundogan on a pre-contract now. So you ain't going to get Gundogan in a swap deal unless you said you can have him right now. But then that puts City in a difficult position. Because we obviously then we would have Frankie de Jong, but it's not a thing. It's not a thing, like, because they just wait until summer and then just have both of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, there we go. Mib with a super chat says, need a signing like Diaz at Liverpool last January to boost us. I don't think we're going to get one, bro.
I don't. People, you know what it is? People want that injection of a transfer. Do you know what I mean? People are hooked on it. You know what I mean? We're all addicts for transfers. But
you know what it is? You know why people are saying stuff like that, right? And I understand why people are saying it, but it's because we're not really performing. Yeah. As well as we should be. People are looking for like things that can make us better. Now,
if we were firing all cylinders,
so someone like Pep Guardiola is looking at our squad going, the squad's fine. I don't need it. I'm going to get it sorted. But then other people are like, nah, the squad's not fine. We need players. You know what I mean? So there you go.
Like,
we're not signing anyone.
Yeah, I don't see us signing anyone. Dash says City board are so lazy in the January, and I don't think it's laziness. I think it's City don't want to move in the January transfer window, and there is an interview, and I've said this loads of times. There is an interview with Ferran or Tika, I can't remember which one it is, and he says the only way that Manchester City will go into the transfer window in January is if things are going, if they look at the season and think things are going wrong. Now we can, as fans, can look at the season and think things are going wrong, but if they say to Pep, "If things are going wrong, do you need some players?" He might turn around and go, "No, the squad's good enough. It's my fault. I just need to. The tactics are fucking over the team a little bit." So then they'll just go, injuries that have been bad, especially in the defensive side of things.
And now all the injuries are back. You know what I mean? All the injured players are back now. So I think we can kick on, man. You know what I mean? We just need a bit of a streak going. We need like 3 or 4 match winning streak, and then boom. You know what I mean? Hopefully we could be in our element. But
tonight could be big in the sense of looking at how City play. I'm hoping Pep's found this fix that he keeps talking about. He's come out with chest. He's come out of chest in that press conference and got me gassed for us to play Spurs. And saying all this, bro, my nerve levels have gone to like a 5 already, bro. And I'm not even thinking about the game. I'm not even thinking about the game, bro.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Anyway, guys, that's your update. That's your transfer update. 1 done. 1 maybe is going to Barca, and City monitoring Kvaratskhelia. And they'll probably be monitoring for the rest of his life because I doubt we're we'll be live at 7 o'clock. We'll get the team news reaction, and then obviously get all the team, the pre-game build-up, and then of course we'll be doing a live watch-along tonight for a huge game in the Premier League. Both teams have got the same form: 2 wins, 2 losses, and a draw. Both teams not having a great time. City falling away from the Premier League title race. You know, I mean, Arsenal going to 8 points, and Tottenham falling away from the top 4. This is an absolute critical game for both teams. So let's see if City can get the win tonight. Hopefully they can. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Big up again to Boohoo Man. If you guys need a discount code when you're shopping at Boohoo Man, use code CityXtra. Use our link in the description. That'll take you straight there. It's available worldwide. And yeah, if you use our discount code, you will get a bit of extra cash off your order, man.
Yes. And who doesn't like saving cash?
Yeah, that's it, bro. City love saving cash.
City love it. We love it.
City got that coupon code.
Yeah,
man.
Bro. City. That's why Pep watches our streams, bro. He gets that coupon in it. He's like, I need that 20% off.
I know. That's it. Right, guys, we'll leave it there. Enjoy the rest of your day. See you later. 7 p.m. UK time. It's a big one. See you later.
See you in a bit.